Yeah, thanks for the reply, Aditya. So let's begin. So just a 1 minute recap about what we have covered yesterday, and I'll just move on to today's topic. And today I'll try to use the magnifier while I'm using Eclipse, so that you will be able to clearly see the font also. Yesterday I have received personally stating that we have not clearly seen the Eclipse whatever I have run the programs. So what I'll do is today I'll be using magnifier and I'll just show you. I hope you all will be able to see it and understand it. So before I start for today's session, a very quick recap, 1 minute only, just 1 minute. So yesterday I have shown you how you can just log into this particular PBLapp, and then how you can go to my profile and change your password. That's what I have begun with. And then I have covered the Java architecture, where I have covered the evaluation, the key founders we have discussed once again, and then we have covered this five-step Java architecture. And in these five steps, we have seen that step one is creating the source file, and step two it is compiling and generating the class file, and step three we have seen how the class loader is going to load your class along with adding the other libraries that you have written as part of import statements. And step 4 we have seen how the bytecode verifier, which is actually responsible for the security of your program, of your code. So the bytecode verifier will validate this bytecode. That's what the one which is responsible for assuring the security. And then we have seen the final step, which the JVM comes into picture, which will interact with the underlying operating system and hardware. And JVM comprises of these three parts: interpreter, and just-in-time compiler, and the JRE, the Java runtime environment. And then we have also understood that JVM is platform independent, platform dependent, whereas only the bytecode, the actual platform independent part. JVM is platform dependent. So we have covered about these five phases, and then after this Java architecture, we have moved on to this particular fundamentals, where we have covered the language basics. This is all about the language basics. In this language basics, first we have seen this. We understood the purpose of path and class path. So the purpose of path is, by setting this path, you are free to run your programs from any location in your computer system. That's what the advantage of path. And setting the class path makes your classes being visible, and you can have your source files in a different location as well as your class files in a different location. That's what the thing is. And next we have discussed the command line arguments. So now I'm going to run a small piece of code for making you understand about how we are going to use the command line arguments. I'll just show you how we are going to run it from command prompt, as well as how we can even pass arguments from the IDE as well. So from Eclipse also we can pass the command line arguments, but before that, first I'll show you how we can operate this command line arguments using this notepad file and the command prompt. And next we have discussed about the 50 keywords, and then we have covered the basic data types. What are the different data types we have covered. So altogether we have 8 primitive data types. We have 8 primitive data types, starting from integer type, and then after integer type we have real type, or the floating type we can say. And then we have seen yeah and then floating type, and then character type, and boolean type. So categories wise we say 4 types of data types, but on a whole we say 8 primitive data types. What are the 4 data types of data types are: number types, and then real types, and then character type, and then boolean type. So under that we have byte, short, int, long comes under the integer type, and float and double comes under floating type, character, and boolean. And we have also discussed that there is no concept of garbage value in Java. We have the default values, where for byte, short, int, and long the default value is 0. For float and double it is 0 0.0, and then for character it is /u 4 zeros, and for boolean it is false. And 0 is not considered as false. 0 is considered to be integer only in Java. So false, false is only recognized as boolean. 0 is not recognized to be false. This thing you have to keep in mind. And next, yeah, up to there I have covered. And then I have shown you how we can launch the Eclipse, and then how to create project. And only for the first time you just require the creation of project. Next time onwards you just keep on creating classes into your src folder only. So once again I'll just show you, don't worry. So and then we have tried to understand these basic answers. What will be the result if we try to compile and execute this following code? So byte b equal to 128. In that case, I have shown you, because here the range of byte is from minus 128 to 127. So when you try to store 128, since it is out of the range, again it starts to the begin. So this will result in printing minus 128. So I'll show you all these things. Don't worry. And then we have also understood about this particular slide. So where you have, in this particular slide, where you can see float f equal to 1.2. So it yesterday I have shown you in the Eclipse. So it will raise an error, because by default all the real numbers are considered to be double in Java. So you have two options. First thing, f equal to 1.2 f, you have to declare it as 1.2 f, indicating that it's not a double, it's a float. The second way is typecast it. So before 1.2 you have to write it in float in enclosed in parentheses. So that's what how you can make it correct without compilation error. Next, as I already mentioned in the before slide, boolean b equal to 1, again it will raise error, because here 1 is not considered as true. You have to write it as true in small letters. So this is what the error here. And next, here there is nothing error here, double d equal to 1.2d. So 1.2d, even if you don't mention d, it will be considered as 1.2, double value only. So that's what the thing you need to understand. Up to there I have covered, and after that, since I have some connectivity issue, we have ended the session. So let's resume back. So yeah, here, this thing I want you to understand. And even though all these are basics, but I am damn sure that many of the students will not even know these basics, because you don't get much complicated things asked in the exam also. Even in the mcqs, very very minute things only will be asked. Just take this example. If this same example is given you in the mcqs, then many of you might fail to answer this. So the reason is, most of you don't know the basics also. So that's the reason I'm reiterating all those things. Here, int a equal to 10. So the output, it will be displaying 10 and followed by a comma. Here you can see, observe my mouse cursor. So here a, so since it's not enclosed in brackets, the value of a will be displayed. So 10 will be displayed plus. So this plus is not for arithmetic addition, it is for concatenation of the string. So after the value of 10 is being displayed, a comma is concatenated to that result. And b, so the value of b, it won't print 017. You have to understand that fact, because any integer that is, that begins with the 0, you have to understand it's not a integer, I mean it's not a decimal equivalent, it is an octal number. It is an octal number. So here 017 will not be displayed. The corresponding decimal equivalent of the octal number 017 will be displayed. I mean 17 of 17 will be displayed. I'll show you now. In today's class, what I'll be doing is, I'll be showing all these things in detail with programming. I'll show you all these things in detail with programming. So I'll show how to convert these basic number systems, because in the quiz or even in the logical building exercises, you require some basic conversions. So I'll just show you what are they. So here, first thing I want you to remember is, any number that starts with the 0, if an integer is assigned with a number that starts with 0, you have to understand that 0 in the beginning of the number indicates it is an octal representation. So here, actually 17 octal value is being stored. 17th octal value is being stored. And next, if a number begins with 0x, it can be small x or capital X, doesn't mind. So if a number starts with 0x, you have to understand that it is hexadecimal. That it is hexadecimal. I repeat, if a number begins with 0, it is an octal representation. If a number begins with 0x, then it is hexadecimal representation. So here the actual number we are storing is 3a. Here the actual number we are storing is 3a. So the decimal equivalent of 3a is required. Now let's just run this and see. I'll just start my Eclipse. I'll just start my Eclipse. It just takes a couple of seconds. So yesterday also I mentioned. So here what you have to do is, so this is how it gets launched. So when you double click this the Eclipse launcher, you will be getting it a window like this. In this workspace, what you can do is you can just specify the drive location, and then you can just give that folder name. Even though the folder doesn't exist, if you give a if you just give a name, with that name a folder will be created. Or else you can directly go and click on this browse, and then you can select the drive and folder, and then you can just select this as a default, so that next time onwards it won't be asking this. It won't be asking this directly. You can go for launch. Here you can see now, use this as the default and do not ask again. So if you click this checkbox, then next time onwards directly you can click on launch. So I'm just clicking on launch. Yeah, so here it is. So here yesterday I have shown you. So what you have to do is you have to go into file. You have to go into file, and then go to new, and then if it's the first time, you have to click on Java project. If it is the very first time, you have to click on Java project, and then what you have to do is you have to follow the instruction there. Just give the project name here, and then here you can select it as default location, or else you can just go, you can just click on browse, and you can just choose a different location. So that's how you will be doing it. And then you will just go to the bottom, and then here you will click on finish. After giving the project name and choosing the location, you just click on finish, so that the project gets created. So once the project is created, you can see this package explorer like this. So when you expand this project, you can see the src folder and jre system library. So I'm using 1.8 jdk. That's what the jre, what you can see there. So if you expand this src folder, you can see the default package. You can see the default package. Now what you will be doing is you just expand this default package, and these are the two programs which we created yesterday. These are the two programs which we created yesterday. So if I want to create a new class, what you have to do is just do a left click on your default package. Just do a left click on your default package, and then right click on the default package, and then there you can see new. If you go to new, there you can see list of things that you can create under this package. So project package class like this. So now I am interested to create a new class. So click on class. Now you can see that a window is being created. So here what you can do is, here you can just choose the name. Here I can just choose the name. So I'm just giving this as a third, since I have already classes with the names first and second. I am just giving third, and here you just leave it as public. Let's understand the access specifiers later. So just leave it as public, and then here you can see, do you want main method to also to be added when this file will be created? And understand this point, you are not supposed to give the class name with .java, because I have already chosen create class. So you are not supposed to use again .java extension here. Just third, the file automatically will be created as .java, so don't worry. And then go down, and then here and then here what you do is, and then here you just click on finish, and then you can see that the class third is getting created. And now if I want the main method, yesterday also I have said, once again I'm just reiterating. So type main and control space, and then you can see what are the options it is giving. Choose the main method, double click it, and the main method automatically gets created. And then yeah, whatever the program I have just shown you, let's try that. Int a equal to some 10, b equal to 0 1 7, and c equal to 0x3a. So this is what I have done, and now let's try to print them. So the shortcut key for system.out.println expansion is sys control space. So this is how you can automatically generate it. These are the basic shortcuts you can remember. So and then a plus, so when I write something without double quotes, you have to understand the corresponding value will be displayed. Plus, and then double quotes comma, that means after displaying the value of a, I want comma to be appended. Next plus, that means after comma I want next value b to be displayed. Plus, again I want a comma, that means after the value of a, I want a comma to be displayed, plus the value of b, plus again I want a comma, and then after comma plus I want the value of c. So this is how you have to append the things. Now you just see, I'm just trying to run it. So here you can see run as, and there you can see run as Java application. So run as Java application. So okay, and there you can see in the console 10 15 58. What is that you can understand? So 10, that is a equal to 10. Understand the output. The output what you are seeing is 10 15 58. That is, so here I have given a equal to 10. Here I have given a equal to 10. So you are getting a displayed exactly same as 10. Whereas in place of 0 1 7, I am getting 15 displayed. That means 17 is the octal number, and when you are displaying, the corresponding decimal equivalent is being displayed. Similarly, in C I have stored 3a. As I mentioned, a number that begins with 0, you have to understand it is the octal representation. A number that begins with 0x, it is the hexadecimal representation. So here what exactly I am storing is, in B I am storing 17, which is the octal number. In C I am storing 3a, which is the hexadecimal number. But when you are displaying, it is displaying you in decimal. It is displaying you in decimal. So this is the point you need to understand. So that is the reason here 3a, the corresponding decimal number is 58. For 17, the corresponding the decimal for the corresponding 17 octal number, the corresponding decimal equivalent is 15. I hope all of you are familiar with how to convert that. So I think all of you know. So 17, that means 7 into 8 power 0. 7 into 8 power 0 plus 1 into 8 power 1. I repeat, how you will be converting octal to decimal is 17 is the octal representation. So 7, which is in units place, 7 into 8 power 0. So as you know, 8 power 0 is 1. So the equivalent value is 7 plus 1, which is in units place, 1 into 8 power 1. So 1 into 8 power 1, the equal value is 8. So 8 plus 7, 15. That's what the result you are getting here, seen 15. Similarly, here 3a. As you all know, hexadecimal representation after 0 to 9, you have from A to F, where A stands for 10, B stands for 11, C stands for 12, D stands for 13, E stands for 14, F stands for 15. So here A decimal equivalent is 10. So 10 into 16 power 0. So here A decimal equivalent is 10. Since it is in units place, so 10 into 16 power 0 plus 3, which is in units place, sorry, tens place, which is in tens place, 3 into 16 power 1. So 3 into 16 power 1, it's 48 plus 10. That's what you are getting the result as 58. That is how you are getting the result as 58. So I hope everyone understood this point. So if you are initializing an integer with the number starting with a 0, you have to understand it is the octal number. If you have the number or the integer initialized with 0x starting, you have to understand it is the hexadecimal number. Understand this point, because this thing you can expect in the first assessment. This thing you can expect in the first assessment. And next thing, I would like you to remember some basic things. Like yesterday I have shown you float f equal to 1.2. Here you can see Here you can see the red mark, the red cross mark. When I move my cursor over there, it is saying type mismatch. Cannot convert from double to float. Now, if you come to this 1.2 value, there you can see a red underline like there. If you move your cursor, and then it just gives you two options. First one, add cast to float. First one, add cast to float. Second one, change type of f to double. So these are the two options it is giving you to resolve this compile time error. Whatever this error is being raised, you have been given two options by this IDE. First thing, add cast to float. Directly I can just click that. Now you can see error is resolved. Now the error is resolved. How? By adding typecasting. By adding typecasting. The other way to do, if you know manually, is just add small f. Just add small f. This is the case what you have seen in that PBLapp's PDF. And next one which I want you to remember is, so boolean. As I said, boolean b equal to 1. This will raise error. Again this will raise error. So if you see again, it is saying duplicate, oh sorry, variable b is already existing. So let me choose another variable. Now d. Now you can see cannot convert from int to boolean. As I mentioned, in C, if you give 0 or 1, it will be considered to be false and true if you are assigning the 0 and 1 to a boolean variable. But whereas in Java, 0 and 1, they are considered to be integer only. So the only way how you can have true or false is only as true or false. So now you can see the error is resolved when I have changed it to true. Now I want you to observe few conversions. I want you to observe few conversions. We have some predefined methods itself. So suppose if I want to convert this particular decimal equivalent b equal to 017 is there na. So I want to convert it. Okay, let's take a different number. I want to convert some 138. Let us say I want to convert some number 138, which is octal, and I want to convert it to decimal. So what I have to do is, just observe carefully. This is very important for your assessment purpose and for your applications purpose. So I'm just taking string s equal to 138. I'm just taking string s equal to 138. Now this 138, actually it is an octal number. This 138 is not the decimal equivalent. This is an octal number, and I want the decimal equivalent of 138. I want the decimal equivalent of 138. On the paper, I hope everyone is comfortable in converting its decimal equivalent. Just now, as I have said for the 017, similarly you can convert it like 8 into 8 power 0 plus 3 into 8 power 1 plus 1 into 8 power 2. So 8 into 8 power 0 plus 3 into 8 power 1 plus 1 into 8 power 2, you will be getting the decimal equivalent on the paper. But with the code, how you are going to do? So the simple way is like, just observe what I am doing. Int n equal to integer dot parseInt. In the parseInt, you can see, so parseInt of, here you can see when I type, automatically you can see the different methods that you have possible with that character p. So I have parseInt of string, parseInt of string s comma int radix. Observe this, parseInt of string, which will convert string to integer. Integer dot parseInt of string will convert string to integer, whereas parseInt of string s comma int radix, this is the function I am using. Observe this, parseInt of string s comma int radix. Observe my selection. So this is the function I am choosing here. Now here s is my variable s only. In place of radix, I am just saying this 138 is 8, that is octal number. Observe it. Now if I want to display this, sys out control space, and then I want to display n. I want to display n. Now observe, it will not print 138. It will not print 138. So run as Java application. So why it is generating a window is because I am not saving it. When I am not saving it, it will generate a window. Do you want to save and run? If I just click on Control S, it won't be asking that also. Now, sorry, for input string 138. Oh, sorry, I have to append it as number format exception. String is equal to 138. Just give me a second. It's fine. Do this mistake. So yeah, now you can see the decimal equivalent 111 is given. I hope you can understand, because when I am saying the mistake was, as you know, if it is octal number, the number ranges between 0 to 7 only. Since I have used 138, where 8 is not an octal number, because 0 to 7 only we have to choose. 0 to 7 only we have to choose. That's the error. So that's the reason I have modified it. So now you can see the error resolved. I hope everyone understood the mistake what I made. So earlier I have given 138. Earlier I have given 138 where the octal number values ranges between 0 to 7 only. That's the error. Now when I change it to some 157, when I just change it to 157, you can see that the number being converted to decimal. So 157 decimal equivalent is triple one. Decimal equivalent is triple one. So this is how you can do. Suppose if I want to know the hexadecimal value, suppose if I want to know the hexadecimal value, what I can do is I can just write int m equal to again integer dot parse int of again string s int radix I am just choosing, whereas in place of radix now I am giving 16. Now I am giving 16. That means the base value I am just changing it 16. Again sys out control space. Now I'll just give m, and then here you can see now what happened. Again m, oh sorry, semicolon missing, that's it, semicolon missing. Now I can just once again run it, run as Java application. Okay, it's only because I am not using control s, that's it. So 343. Now you can see how come 343 is generated. Okay, correct only. According to it, 7 into 16 power 0 plus 5 into 16 power 1 plus 1 into 16 power 2. That's what it have done, and then it have generated the value. So 157 according to since we are saying it is the hexadecimal value. So if 157 is the hexadecimal value, then the corresponding decimal equivalent is 343. So I hope everyone understood this point what I have shown you. So this is how you will be generating that. And suppose if you are asked to convert, a binary to an octal. I repeat, if you are asked to convert a binary to an octal number, how you are going to do that? So let me show you again with a small example. String some k equal to, so 1 0 1 0 1. So I hope all of you know what is its corresponding decimal equivalent. So how you are going to do? 1 into 2 power 0 plus 0 into 2 power 1 plus 1 into 2 power 2 plus 0 into 2 power 3 plus 1 into 2 power 4. So its corresponding equivalent is actually 21. Its corresponding decimal equivalent is 21. So manually we are able to calculate it because of our basic mathematical knowledge, but coding wise how you are going to do, I'm just showing the basics. So here string k equal to 10101, but I'm not interested for the decimal value, I'm interested for the octal number. How we are going to do that? Now what we will be doing is, first we are going to convert. So k l, let me take some l. So first what we are going to do is, we are first going to convert this particular string which is the containing the binary number to the binary number itself. Integer dot, again I am choosing this parseInt string s radix. So now I am giving radix as 2. Now I am just giving radix as 2 and semicolon. Now you can see, now this variable l is containing the binary value 10101. Now, as I said, I am interested for the octal number. And you know, how do you convert binary to octal? On a paper, you just um, underline three digits and then you will take its decimal equivalent. Similarly, here for programming, what I'll do is I'll just take int some variable I. Let me take I. Int I equal to, and then what you will be writing is integer dot 2. So when I write 2, automatically you can see whatever functions are there that starts with this character 2. So here you can see, observe my mouse cursor, here you can see 2 octal string. Here you can see 2 octal string. So if I just click this 2 octal string, and the variable is automatically taken, sorry, I have to pass it L, since L is the one which is containing that, and then a semicolon, 2 octal string. Oh, sorry. Here, integer dot 2 octal string, as the name itself makes you understand, it is going to convert and return in string form. But I have declared variable I as integer. You can see there, integer dot 2 octal string, the function what I am using is correct only. But as the name itself makes you understand, 2 octal string will return a string. But what I have declared it as int type, which is incorrect. So what I have to do, I have to change the type to string. Now, when I have changed the type to string, now you can see the error is resolved. I hope everyone understood how the error is resolved. Earlier, I have written int I equal to. I have written int I equal to. Whereas integer dot 2 octal string, this function will be returning string. But I am trying to store it in a integer variable. So when I have moved my mouse cursor over the error, it have given me the quick fix, that is asking to choose to change the type of I to string. So if I just click that, the error is resolved. Now what I'll do is I'll just print it, sys out control space, and then in that I'll just give this I. Okay, so now, okay, every time whenever I'm doing a right click and run, you can see a window being generated. What I'll do is I'll just click Control S. Now I have saved. After saving, you can see when I go to run as, when I go to run as, now you can see no window is coming there. Directly it's going. So what happened again? 157 for input string 157, line number 14, number format exception, line number 14. Oh, sorry, here not yes. Binary we have to give. So variable I have given wrong. So variable I have to give k. That's the error, nothing else. So the variable which I am supposed to pass is k, but instead of that I have passed yes, which is not actually binary. Because you know binary contains only zeros and ones, because in 157 there is 5 and 7 which are not binary numbers. That's the error. So once again I'm just pressing Ctrl S, and after pressing Ctrl S again right click, run as, and then if you go again Java application, now you can see no window is being generated. Only if you don't save it and try to run, you will get that. Now you can see 25. Now you can see 25. So for 10101, the decimal equivalent is 21. The decimal equivalent is 21, because what you will do in converting to decimal a binary. So from this unit side, 1 into 2 power 0 plus 0 into 2 power 1 plus 1 into 2 power 2 plus 0 into 2 power 3 plus 1 into 2 power 4. So altogether what you will be getting is 16 plus 4 plus 1. So you will be getting 21. But whereas in octal, as you know, you will be underlining three digits. So 101, the decimal equivalent is 5. Next for 10, the decimal equivalent is 2. That's the reason 25. So without any trouble, directly you can get that displayed. And similarly, even you can just try for hexadecimal conversion. Suppose if I just again write the same string j equal to integer dot parse, sorry, integer dot to. So there you can see hex string. So just now how we have done for octal string, I'm just using 2 hex string, and there again the same variable L, and then semicolon, and then what we'll do is after this number we will just even print the hexadecimal. Sys out control space and then the J. So control S. So as I said earlier, whenever I am just not using control S, and when I am going here for run as, you can see a new window being generated. It's nothing but just saying you want me to save and run. Now Java application. Now you can see 15. So for 10101, the decimal equivalent is 21, and the octal number is 25, and the hexadecimal number is 15. I hope even you know how to convert a binary to decimal. So for octal you will underline 3 digits. For hexadecimal you will underline 4 digits. So 0101, that is 5, and the last the most significant bit 1. Prepend the 3 zeros. So 0001, it's a decimal equivalent 1. That's the reason 15. So these are the basic number conversions I want all of you to remember. For your logical building exercises, it will be useful. Along with that, even in the assessments, you will be given some short codes like this, very small piece of codes like this, and then you will be asked to predict the output. So you should not be making any mistake even in the assessments when you get something like containing these kind of codes. I hope everyone is comfortable so far. So this is how you will be using the variables for conversions of number systems as well. So in this particular program, I have shown you how you can initialize a variable with octal. This is how you will be initializing a variable with octal by starting that number with 0, and how you will be initializing a variable with hexadecimal by starting that number with 0x. So if a number is started with 0, it is octal way of storing. If a number is initialized with 0x, it's a hexadecimal way of storing. And when you display it, but you get displayed as the corresponding decimal equivalents. And then I have shown you how you can convert a number which is in octal or hexadecimal to the corresponding decimal equivalent. So that I have shown you with this example of 157. If 157 is octal, then how do you get the decimal equivalent? So this is how you will be converting. Simply you will take a integer variable, you will just use the inbuilt method integer.parseInt of 2 parameters you will be passing. One is the string value, and the other one is the base, that is the radix, and that is how you have seen. And next I have now shown you, just now I have shown you how a binary can be converted to octal and hexa. So you will be storing a binary number in a string, and then you will be again using the conversion of this string to binary number by using the same above what we have used, integer.parseInt of string comma radix 2. And once you have obtained the binary number into your variable, then what you are going to do is you are again going to make use of the inbuilt methods, that is integer.to octal string, which will return you the corresponding octal number but in string form. That's the reason the return variable we have declared it to be string. Similarly, integer.to hex string. So what it will do, it will take the binary number and then it will convert it to the corresponding hexadecimal number, but the corresponding hexadecimal number is again returned to be string type. That is the reason again we are stored in string. So I hope everyone is comfortable with so far whatever I have discussed. So now let me show you how to run a command line argument, how to use a command line program. So that I'll just use this second.java. So here I'm using, this is my second program. So what we do is, instead of this, let me use here args of 0. Now you can see what is this args of 0. So this args is this variable here. Observe my mouse cursor. So this args of 0, whatever I have given, this is from the main method. So yesterday we have discussed. So whatever this main method containing string array, and this args is generally the when variable which you will be seeing in all the textbooks. That's the same reason I am using. But even you can use your own variable name. There's nothing wrong in that. Okay, so you can use any name, but since it will be the general way of using, args stands for arguments. Args stands for arguments. That's the reason all the textbooks they use that variable name as args, but you can have any variable name. But public static void main string array being as the argument is the starting point of your program execution. It is the starting point of your program execution. So now here you can see A of 0. Now control S. And now just observe for your understanding. What I'll do is I'll just run this program here as it is. I'll just run this program here as it is. So run as Java application. Okay, why it came I will tell because in previous class I have already added that. That's the reason it is there. Okay, let me show you. Actually, I have already this program which have taken that. So what you do is in run as without before clicking Java application, in order to pass the command line arguments, what you have to do is click on run configurations. Click on run configurations. In this run configurations, you can see when you click on that run configurations, you get a window open like this, and here you can see on the left side panel second is being selected, because since I have come to this window by right clicking on run configurations in the second class. Now here in the arguments you can see, can you see their welcome? That is the reason it have not raised any error. So earlier itself I have already this program. That is the reason it's not raising any error. If I just remove it for you, you will understand better. So and then what I'll do is I'll just click on apply. I'll just click on apply. So now what I'm doing is I'm just closing this window. Now I'll just try to run this program and show you what happens. So run as Java application. So now you can see the error. What is it? Java.lang.array index out of bounds exception 0, because it's expecting an argument at 0, that is first string, but there was no string being passed as command line. That is the reason it is raising this exception. So I hope when I have removed itself, I hope you understood, but still I'm just showing you how to pass the command line arguments. When you are using in the IDE, right click, run as. In the run configurations, when the window gets opened, go to arguments tab. Here you have to pass. So if I am giving welcome, and let me pass few more, hello world, welcome hello world. Now I've just understand this. Now this welcome is at arg of 0, a of 0. This hello is at a of 1. This world is at a of 2. So I have passed three arguments. Where the first string welcome is a of 0, the second string hello at a of 1, the third string world at a of 2, and just click on apply and then close. Now you just see, again I am just doing right click, run as Java application. Now you can see welcome being displayed. What about this hello and world? What about the hello and world? So even though you have passed it as command line argument, it's nothing mistake. Its only thing is you haven't used a of 1 and a of 2. That's the only thing. There's nothing wrong if you are passing more number of arguments than expected. But expected arguments must and should be passed. That means if I am writing here a of 1, control S, I am just modified it a of 1, I have saved it, and then run as Java application. Now you can see hello being displayed. What is that? So I have passed three arguments: welcome, hello world. So welcome is at a of 0, hello at a of 1, world at a of 2. So if you are passing more number of arguments, it doesn't matter whichever arguments you are using, whichever index you are providing, that should be provided. Now if I am giving here a of 3, for your understanding, I'm just showing a of 3. I'm just providing a of 3. Now right click again, run as Java application. Now you can see java.lang.array index out of bounds exception 3, because you haven't passed a value which is expected to be at index 3. If a value is expected to be at index 3, what does it mean? There is no fourth value in the command line arguments. There's no fourth value in the command line argument. So that's what. So you can provide any number of arguments. It's up to you. It's up to you. As per your requirement, you can just pass it. Java application. Now you can see world being displayed. I hope everyone understood this command line arguments, how to pass in the IDE. So how you will be passing the command line arguments in the IDE? Just do right click, go to run as. Instead of directly clicking Java application for the first time, you have to go to run configurations, and then a window gets opened. There you will be specifying the arguments. You will click on the arguments tab, and there you will give the arguments. And here you can see the GRE as well. Sometimes if you are having a lesser version, here you can add the execution environment. This is where you can go for the install GREs and go for the higher version loading. This particular thing anyway using JDK 8 only, but I'm just showing how to do that. Now how do you do the same program in the before showing in the command line, I want to show you one more thing. Suppose I am giving public static void main int b, and then spelling mistake, it's a static, and then here I'm just saying what I'm saying. Yeah, let me say sys out control space, then let me just print that b. Now if you observe, I have two main methods. So even though I'm having two main methods, the starting point of execution is going to be this method only. The starting point of execution of my program will be this method only. So this at later stage we will come again when we are discussing about the in tomorrow's class we will discuss about the OOPS concept probably. At that time we will once again discuss this. So this we call it as overloading. The only reason I am going little bit slow is because I know that even 50% of EC students are there. I don't know how far they remember this, because it's not as part of their core subject. That is the reason I'm just reiterating a little bit slow, so that everyone can follow. Hope CSC students can understand the point. Now here you can see that I have two main methods being declared, and if you observe, both are having same way of declaring almost. Public here, here static, here void, here main, the same name, here main with the same case. Only difference is here the argument is a string array, here the argument is a simple integer. But still I am saying this method is the first one is the starting point of execution, because you can have n number of main methods, but the one which has the string array argument, that's the point of execution, that is the begin of execution. So here you can see, now if I just call that another main of some 10, I'm just calling the other main, because why I'm passing 10 is because it's expecting an integer. The other main which I have defined, It is expecting an integer argument. That is the reason I'm just calling this main with passing the integer value 10. Now there's nothing wrong in this program. Even though you have two main methods, there's nothing wrong in this program, because this first main method is having string array as argument, the second main method is having integer as argument. And since we are saying that the begin of execution will be from the main that has string array as argument, there I'm calling the other main. Now let me just quickly show you this program's output. Run as Java application. There you can see world and 10. I hope everyone got this point. So you can have a number of main methods, but make sure that you have only one main method with the string array as argument, which is going to be the begin of your program. The begin of your program. Suppose if I have multiple classes, then for suppose I'm just showing you another example, class 4th. Suppose if I'm just giving this control C, just pasting it the same code. Control yes. Now in this case you can see there are two main methods with two begin of executions. There are two main methods with two begin of executions. Now when I just do run this application, okay, I haven't saved it, that's it, I already said. Now you can see the second program. Okay, let me, for understanding purpose, since I haven't passed the argument for this, let me just show you with simple hi, and let me save this. And then run as Java application. Okay. Now you can see only hi being displayed. Why? Because when I have just clicked it, run as Java application, there, here you can see 4th is being selected. If I just click on second, so since there are two begin of executions, it is asking me which class you want to start. Which class you want to start. This is what it will be asking. Now if I choose second, now you can see second being executed. So when you have multiple classes where multiple classes contain the same main with the string array argument method, which has to be the begin of your execution, depends on which class you are choosing. So here second and fourth both are being shown by the IDE. If it is in case of command prompt, you will be anyway giving Java space class name. Java space class name. Assume that this same file you are trying to run it from command prompt. At that time what you will be doing? You will be writing Java space class name. At that time if you give Java space 4th, then from 4th class main method will be the beginning point of execution. If you choose Java space second, then the second class main method will be the begin point of execution. Understand this fact. In the IDE, it will provide you like this all the classes that contains the main method with the string array as argument. Because the main method with the string array as argument will be the begin point of execution. So if you are having such main method with the string array as argument in multiple classes of your program, then it will list out all those classes which has main method as string array as argument, so that you can choose which class to be your begin point of execution. I hope everyone understood this point. So, and even this point I hope everyone understood. So main method I can have it overloaded. Like this, but still it can't be the begin point for execution, because the main with the string array as argument can only be the begin point of execution. I hope everyone understood this point. So let me quickly show you the same program from command prompt. So I think let's skip it. Let's skip that point running from command prompt, because anyway you don't require nowadays. Nobody is going to run from command prompts like that. Everyone will be using IDEs only. So let's skip that point of running from command prompt. You can just try it on your own. And next thing I want you to understand is so anyway, since it's more than 1 hour, types of variables and data types, we'll just cover it tomorrow, and then we will put full stop to Java fundamentals, because anyway, in Java fundamentals, we have to cover these four things. Java architecture we covered. Under language basics, we are just left with these two things: types of variables and data types. Tomorrow, I'll just cover without any programming concept, and then this flow of control statements. I just want you to once revise this flow control statements. Anyway, tomorrow I'll just quickly revise, and then very quickly with example tomorrow I'll show you this arrays, one dimensional and two dimensional. I'll just go ahead with my schedule. I'll just go ahead with my schedule. That is because I have shown you my schedule that was submitted to Wipro. So that is I have allocated 3 days for this Java fundamentals. I have allocated 3 days for this Java fundamentals. Here you can see. Oh, sorry, I have allocated 4 days anyway. 8, 9, 10, 11. So anyway, we'll see. Because as per the schedule only, it will go on. As per the schedule we have submitted to Wipro, the things have to be carried out. Since I have already allocated for the Java fundamentals 4 days, we have completed this Java architecture and the language basics, where we have understood about the conversion of number systems as well. So tomorrow, quickly, what we do is, as soon as I begin my session, tomorrow very quickly, I'll just cover these types of variables. I'll just cover these types of variables, that is the local variables, instance variables, and static variables. After that, we will just quickly wind up with the types of operators. We'll just cover up these types of operators, and then I'll discuss the three types of flow control statements, that is the selection statements, iteration statements, and jumping statements. I'll just cover all the three categories of flow control statements. Selection, under selection we have if else ladder, switch, and under iteration statements we have again three: for, while, and do while. And under jumping statements we have again three: break, continue, return. So these are the three categories of flow control statements. Again, under each and every classification we have three further classifications. Like I said, selection statements: if else ladder, switch. And iteration statements: for, while, do while. Under jumping statements we have break, continue, return. We'll just look at them with simple examples. After that, I'll try to wind up with one dimensional and two dimensional arrays. I hope everyone understood today's session, and the reason why I'm conducting in YouTube live is so that those who missed out can also refer once again the same session whenever you wanted. And another reason is this is the reason, like I might be extending more than 1 hour like this, so it may not be possible with Zoom for me, and that's the reason I'm just conducting in YouTube live, so that those who missed it, even though you wanted to revise it, you can just once again watch this and try to understand it. And one small advice what I would like to recommend is try to practice them in your own system Eclipse IDE. And since I am continuing with my session, I haven't gone through the chat box. So I hope all of you have given your roll number. If those who have not given, you can just give your roll number in the comment box, so that I can record it. And Okay then. Let's meet tomorrow again at 10:30 a.m. We will end up here because it's been more than 1 hour. Okay, thank you guys. Let's meet tomorrow.